Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bethany Empowers Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to do a full moon in Pisces reading today. So September 17th, if you're watching it today is the full moon, but the energy is still going to be here. And this is the beginning of what they're calling eclipse season. So we're going to be having multiple eclipses going forward. Eclipses tend to be a really powerful time for things to be kind of shaken up and changed, and things to come to the surface and things from the past coming back for you to look at. I mean, in general that happens a lot, but eclipses tend to be a little bit more potent, a little bit more powerful in seeing around those times, like things changing. So we are starting eclipse season today, but of course whenever you're watching this, please remember it doesn't have to be around that time. If you're watching this down the road and it's past September 17th and there's still messages for you, it could be giving you some insight into what happened for you around this time, or what is currently happening for you, so always take what I say whenever you're watching it, regardless of time. It's all about energy. It's not about timing necessarily. Sometimes it is, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so we're gonna just look at the theme, what's coming to the surface. Let's see what else. What's completing, because full moons are a lot about completion, things coming full circle. They're also, because once, things come full circle, then you can have new beginnings. So they're also about new beginnings. So we'll look at what is the new beginning that's available to us, and then the advice. So what did I want to do first? I think I wanted to get some oracle and ask, what is the theme of this new moon? I mean, not new moon, full moon. Full moon in Pisces. Full moon eclipse in Pisces. What is the theme? What do we need to know? Ascension, the Rainbow Bridge. Ooh, I'm definitely feeling, so Archangel Metatron is known to be the archangel who governs the Rainbow Bridge, which is like the connection from the spirit realm to the earthly realm. So it's like helping people cross over. I was reading about Archangel Metatron a while ago, like years ago, and just wanting to read more about him. I think he can also be known as a him or a her, I'm not sure. But I call him a him because to me he feels more masculine. So I guess is the only archangel who was actually a human on Earth, and then like what he did here on Earth was so like profound, or I don't know what you have to do to be determined, basically getting promoted to archangel, but that's kind of like what happened for him. I don't, obviously I don't know how accurate that is, just what I read that always stuck with me, and that's why he is that bridge between the spirit realm and the earthly realm, because he has experience with both. Like he was an actual human, whereas I guess like the other archangels were actually always in the spirit realm, right? Always in the angelic realm, and didn't actually have lives here on earth. So something about that. But the ascension too. I'm gonna get some tarot on this. Let me get like one or two or three. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So what I was feeling was like removing the illusions, because Seven of Swords can be about illusions or deception or things that are not true, not real, or someone trying to get away with something. And so I was feeling like all of the illusions that have made us feel like we're missing out on something, or that have caused us to go through cycles where we felt sadness and regret. With the Ace of Cups, this is about a new beginning in love. So it could be with another person, but it's more so about with yourself first and foremost, because they're wanting you to, because I was noticing that this card, I know I'm like interrupting myself. I was noticing that this card is an 18, 1 + 8 = 9. And nines are about, it's like, to me, nines are always about like the self. So like, that's why I was thinking that the Ace of Cups is more about what's happening within yourself, which is what am I feeling? You're letting go of the stuff that you know, all of the regrets and the sadness and the pain, and looking at the past and things that didn't work out. That's what the Five of Cups is about. And seeing how you maybe were like, I mean, it could be from like a very literal interpretation, is that you were lied to, people deceived you, you felt kind of like stabbed in the back, things like that by other people. And that's what has you in that Five of Cups. And so now this is you learning how to fill your own cup and heal and have this new beginning for yourself, this kind of resurgence of healing and love. I'm also noticing that these two cards are very similar, like in the way that like the light beams are coming off of the right here, like she's holding it also in like the center of her heart, and that's where this is coming from. So you're basically letting go of all of the stuff from the past that I keep wanting to say illusions, I guess. I don't know why. We'll get more on that because I'm going to clarify, but we're letting go of illusions from the past that kept us in this perpetual cycle of sadness and regret, and feeling like maybe it's even, I mean, you could have been the one who lied and deceived, and you kept yourself in this cycle of like punishing yourself for never allowing yourself to fully be happy or fully be filled up, because you thought because of things that you are trying to hold yourself accountable for from the past, where you maybe hurt other people or lied to other people or something like that, has kept you like not being able to let it go. And it's like a form of self-sabotage, like never forgiving yourself, right? So it's that, or never forgiving other people and yourself for things that happened from the past. And I'll get what this illusionment is about. So they're just things that aren't real. The lies, right? The deception, the things we tell ourselves that isn't true about ourselves, like that we don't deserve love, that we don't deserve forgiveness, that we don't deserve all the things that we truly desire. So we are bridging a gap that maybe we felt like, why can't I get this? Why does this keep happening, right? That's where I feel like the bridge part is coming in. We're bridging this gap that has been feeling like a void within ourselves, of like, what's wrong with me, right? And maybe that's what the illusion is too, thinking that there's something wrong with you because you've experienced certain things, because you've dealt with certain things, and you've attracted certain things or participated in things that you ended up feeling like you got duped or you got lied to. And you're kind of like, what did I do to deserve that? Or what did, why did I attract that? What's wrong with me, right? And so it's letting go of that, and maybe it's really getting clear on why I attracted certain things, why you attracted certain things, and why you needed to learn these certain lessons. And instead of punishing yourself and keeping yourself stuck in this cycle of attracting the same things, we're ascending higher. We are bridging the gap between the earthly realm and the spirit realm by healing and loving ourselves, and loving the part of ourselves that maybe participated in certain things that were a part of our shadow or a part of somebody else's shadow. Yeah, that's what that feels like. Okay. All right. What's coming to the surface? So what is coming to the surface that we can release, or that we can look at? So the Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit. Again, a number 9. The Hermit is number 9. It's also Virgo energy, and we are in Virgo season right now. Virgo is on the opposite end of the zodiac wheel from Pisces. That's why it's a full moon in Pisces. Anytime, whatever season we are in, right now we're in Virgo season, wherever the sun is, the full moon of that season is going to be the opposite sign. So Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So what's coming to the surface feels like it's deliberately asking you to look inward and see, like, what do I need to focus on, or what have I been focusing on? Where have I been putting my energy? What have I been growing? We're going to clarify more about that, but it's like, also it's another 7, right? We had the 7 of Swords, now we have another 7 coming out, so the 77. or 7 might be important number. We're going to clarify with another deck after I get all this out. Okay, let's see. What is completing? What is ending? What's completing in your life? What can you fully release? The King of Cups. Tell me more about that. And the Sun. Interesting. Completing. What's completing? The King of Cups is about emotional maturity, and the Sun is Leo energy. It's also happiness and joy, and it's like a yes card. I mean, perhaps we are saying yes to, well, it's talking about what we're completing, so that's why it's a little confusing to me. I'm going to clarify that because it's a little confusing. All right, what new beginnings are available to us? The Magician. I'm kind of getting a message with that too, but I'm going to come back to it. I just saw 11. So the Magician is a number 1. So number 1s, lots of numerology feels important. So look for certain angel numbers that you see repeating a lot. You know, sometimes it'll be the same number, like 111, 222, or, you know, it could be like 123 or 1234, or it could be like 1212, 1010, things like that. If you keep seeing repeating numbers, look those up and see what message it has for you, because that's a way of the universe getting our attention for wanting to give you some messages. So it seems like that's really important here. I mean, I always talk about numerology within the tarot. I mean, numerology plays a big part in the tarot already, but I always talk about it in my readings if it's popping out to me. So yeah, the number 1, which is about new beginnings. It's funny, you know, that's what I'm talking about. What is the new beginning? Basically, it's like saying you're ready to create the you're ready to create the why is the word leaving my head? You're ready to create the life you desire, I guess is what I was trying to say. Yeah. Okay. Then I want to get, what is the advice? What's the advice for this full moon in Pisces? It feels all over the place. I apologize. All right, we have the Emperor. And number 4, it's about stability, but this is about being in charge of your own life. That's what I'm feeling. Stepping up, being in charge, taking charge. What I was feeling with this one too is like, what are we completing? It kind of felt like saying yes to other people's emotions, saying yes to, maybe it's also saying yes to like what's to your emotions. Like, yes, we want to feel our emotions and acknowledge them and validate them and understand them, process them, but our emotions are not always like fact. They're not like necessarily truth. We could have an emotion that comes through and then a story attached to it that then tells us something that isn't necessarily true. And maybe that's what it's pointing to, right? Is also the illusions that I was talking about in the beginning, is like, what are the illusions that I'm letting go of, that I'm needing to look at and see that are not real? And perhaps you saying yes always to like, my emotion is fact, right? Or my emotion means I don't think it's necessarily that, like, we're forgetting the second step. So like, you need to go a little deeper. We need to go a little deeper in that, like, our emotions bring something up within us, but then we have to look at what is the story or the thought, the judgment that's coming up along with that feeling that's telling us how to act. This could also be about completing, like taking off your rose-colored glasses. That kind of feels like that too. Could be about that, and we'll get more about that. But it felt like when I was saying taking charge of your own life is like, maybe there's like another person or people in your life who, like, you tend to say yes to what they expect of you rather than like what you truly want to do. I don't know, something along those lines. Okay, so we're gonna clarify now. So we need to clarify anything else with the theme. Let's see. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, it really feels like drink from your own cup. Like fill and feed I can't talk. Fill and feed yourself first rather than other people. And that's maybe an extension of what I was just talking about. They're really asking you to put yourself first. That is the theme. Make sure you're not giving in to what other people expect of you, unless you're truly being guided towards the same thing that they are wanting you to do. Does that make sense? So like, make sure you're checking in with yourself, the Hermit card, about, is this what I want to do, or is this what I think that person wants me to do? And if I really feel into my emotions, I don't actually want to do that. It's funny because I was feeling that. I was contemplating this before I started the reading. I was like, I'm kind of tired. My head was like, oh, like an appointment got rescheduled today that I wasn't going to be able to do a reading today. And I was like bummed because I wanted to do a full moon reading today, because it was like the only time this week I'd be able to do it on the actual full moon, right? So then my appointment got rescheduled. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll have the time. But then I got home and I was tired, and I was like, I don't know if I want to. And I kind of questioned myself. I was like, okay, will this be coming from a place of like, am I doing this because I feel like I need to do it just because that's what people expect of me? That's what people want from me because people want me to post more readings? Or am I doing it because I really want to? And so I finally got to that place of like, no, I really do want to. Like, I love doing readings. I get a lot out of them for myself as much as, other people do. And I had planned on doing a full moon reading if I could, and the time opened up for me, so it was that was going through my head. So, maybe perhaps I was already channeling this energy, and that could be something that they're wanting us to do, is to really check in with our motives, our intentions. Am I doing this thing or saying this thing because I really want to do this thing, or am I doing it because it's going to make other people happy, and in the long run it's actually going to burn me out, or I'm not going to be very happy or fulfilled? All right, so they're wanting us to look at that. Okay, what's coming to the surface? So we already looked at the Hermit and the Seven of Pentacles, saying that it was about where are we putting our energy, right? And that's just an example of what I was just talking about. The Eight of Pentacles and strength. And 2 8s. 8. See, look, numerology is playing a really big part in this, around this eclipse time. So really pay attention to numerology, because I noticed 7 7, and then I was talking about 8 8. The 9s too came out, and then the 1s also. So this is like having the strength to put in the work also. Like, it may be challenging for us to go inward because it's not a habit yet, right? Maybe we are used to, like, let me ask somebody else, or let me go and see what somebody else wants me to do first before I decide what I should do. This might be a challenge. And the strength card is about willpower. It's about the inner strength to hold back sometimes instead of be forceful, right? It's challenging you to have some restraint from, maybe there's like somebody, you are the go-to person that people go to for help, support, whatever. And somebody comes to you and is asking you for help, but you're like really burnt out, you're really tired, you just don't have it in you that day. And it's taking more inner strength and like willpower for you to say no than it would be to say yes, even though in the long run, you're putting yourself last, right? So that it's going to feel counterintuitive counterproductive maybe, because you're like, but this is who I am. I love helping people. And it's like, that doesn't mean that it's going to stop, but you also have to love helping yourself, right? And sometimes that's saying no, like saying no and having strong boundaries with what you value, what what is giving back to you equally, things like that. You really need to see the value in that over people pleasing and just doing things because you're so used to doing it, like stopping and thinking, like, why am I saying yes to this, right? and sometimes it will be, you're like, no, you know what, I really do want to help this person, I really do have the energy to help this person. Even if that is the case, they're not saying to say no every single time, and they're just saying make sure that you are checking in with yourself first before you go to do something that you know could be an energy strain, an energy drain. Is this equal energy exchange? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay. Now we're going to check what is completing, right? So we have taking off the rose-colored glasses, maybe stop being a people pleaser, saying yes to everything. Also, maybe it's saying yes to certain emotions. Look at that, the sun. Okay, why the sun and the sun, you guys? Like, this is a double. I really want to get more about this because it so what's completing is saying yes to things. I mean, like, it feels like a little confusing. The Eight of Cups. Yeah, it's telling you to walk away from, what are you saying yes to that's no longer serving you? What are you saying yes to? Can you please tell us more about that? Oh shit. Shoot. Please tell us more about this King of Cups. The World. They're being very vague, you guys. I apologize. Like, they're not giving me a lot of details. I'm noticing this. It's more meta. It's more big picture. It's more spiritual concepts rather than like this person and this job and this and this and this, right? It's like I'm not getting led in that direction, and that's probably why I was, we were talking about bridging the gap between spiritual and earthly realms. They're wanting us to focus more in looking at the big picture. Like, what's completing is like, it's almost like, what do they say about this? Because this card is the last card in the major arcana. It is about completion, but it's still like, they're basically saying, like, stop asking. Look at this in the Ace of Cups again. What's completing is what you are saying yes to when it comes to how you're filling your cup, or if you are even filling your cup. Okay, maybe more will come to me because that feels like really confusing because I'm asking what's completing. And perhaps, sometimes spiritual guidance messages come through and they don't make sense to our logical brain. And perhaps that's something that we are learning how to decipher more, right? Is like, I ask what's completing and then I get all these positive cards except for the Eight of Cups, but it's like, what's completing? And maybe it is our relationship to things ending or things completing, right? We don't want to be so literal. Like, we can't be so literal with, and tarot can be literal sometimes depending on the reader or you or whatever, but I feel like they're saying, like, don't be so literal. I really feel like that's what's coming through. Almost like they're saying you already said everything that is completing, basically. You're walking away from the things that you used to say yes to, or even the things that used to make you happy. Even if that is a person or, a relationship or something, but it's more about, with the King of Cups, it's like the way that you feel about certain things, about life, about yourself. Okay, what is this new beginning? Magician. Committing to the things that you truly love. So they're really asking you, because this card is a lot about commitment and feeling like, making sure you are checking in with yourself. Like, am I going in the right direction? Am I committed to this direction? And committing to what you truly desire, what you truly love, what truly is reciprocal, like I already said, before saying yes. And so that's going to look like the little things and the big things. In the every, like, If somebody's trying to pick a fight with you, am I giving my energy to that? Or even if it's like you can feel other people directing energy towards you, am I going to give my energy back towards that, or am I just going to send that energy back to that person, right? So is this person wanting to talk to me? Am I saying yes to that, right? So it's like the little day-to-day things, but it's also the big things, right? So they're wanting to make sure that you are so intentional and mindful about where your energy is going that it's going to be annoying. And that's why it's like, it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of discipline and motivation to sit and like every single thing that I choose, when I need to make a choice, is this my highest passion, pleasure, excitement, happiness, joy? If not, maybe I shouldn't be doing it, right? And it doesn't mean that you always have to be feeling like super excited. Like it could be like a peaceful kind of feeling too, you know, but they're saying make sure that the whatever you're choosing is the highest and best option in the moment versus like what I would choose instead of that thing. I hope this is making sense. So with the advice, I feel like I already know what it's going to say, but with the Emperor as the advice, it is like, this is how you take control of your life, how you feel in charge and in control of your life, is noticing how every single thing is a choice. Not just the action choices, but it's like the thought choices, the emotion choices, right? The attention, the energy. Where are we putting our energy? Like this comes up a lot, and I feel like it gets said a lot, but like, where are you putting your energy? You really need to be mindful of every single thing. You have a thought that comes up that you don't like. Are you giving into that thought and then having more thoughts and having it go in that direction? Or are you just like, that was weird. Okay, well, I don't really like that, so I'm just gonna like go over here, you know? And they're wanting you to do that. Like, why keep choosing the thoughts and the actions and the people and the, you know, books, the movies, the music, I don't know, anything you give your attention to that you are inviting to have a reciprocal interaction with, right? So that goes down to like friendships, even family members, even, you know, clients, or just interactions with people that you know aren't going to have a reciprocal like energy that you enjoy, right? It's time to really look at how often do I give more to the things that I don't like than to the things that I do like. Yeah, so the Ace of Swords is about your truth and your clarity. Your power is standing in your truth. And your truth might just be, you know, I'm sorry, but this doesn't feel good, period. And that's it. That's the only thing you need to say. This doesn't feel good, period. And that's all. And I feel like that is basically the message they're wanting me to stop with, is also, you know, this could be seen this way with these. What's completing is everything else is completing except what lights me up and what my body says yes to. What makes me feel good in my body is the only thing that's staying. And set that as your intention, right? Like, set the intention when you wake up in the morning to say, I'm only going to choose the things that feel completely right, that my body's saying a full yes to. And that might mean saying no, or choosing things that disappoint other people. And that's, we're getting to a point where we really cannot be so concerned with regret. We cannot be so concerned with what didn't work out, with how other people feel about you choosing you, right? As long as you're not neglecting the responsibilities or the people in your life that you know you have responsibility to, that you choose to. But it's also wanting you to look at like getting up every day and saying, I'm choosing to be responsible for this relationship in my life. I'm choosing because it serves me also to give my time, energy, love, money, whatever, to these people, to this direction, to this passion, to this job, even to this house, to, you know, anything. Wow, they're very passionate about this message. So, yeah, they're saying don't complete it. The message is complete. If you feel like you didn't get the message, there's a very direct and very, I don't want to say sassy, but just kind of like, it's not sassy. It's direct, but what's the word I'm looking for? Can you please give me a word like to explain what this energy feels like? Matter of fact. It's a very matter of fact energy that's coming through. It's like, you want the tools, you want to know how to live your best life, how to stay on track, stay in alignment with what you want, what you desire, with your happiness, your joy. This is the formula. This is what they're saying. Do this every single day with every single choice that you make. And you won't ever feel disappointed. You won't ever feel like, you know, you got duped or lied to, because you would have checked in with yourself before choosing a certain thing and taken responsibility for the outcome. And also like forgive it's also about like, even if say somebody does come in and they happen to lie to you, or they happen to pull wool over your eyes in some way, and something happens that you don't like, there's like this level of responsibility and like, okay, well, I know that I checked in and I couldn't control what that person did. So they must have their own karma. They must have their own lesson to learn. And it doesn't have anything to do with me. And that's how you stay in alignment. Also, like, stay in your own lane and forgive yourself for if you feel like you got duped. That keeps coming up, right? You got lied to, or all these illusions. Like none of the things that happened that like people did to when you were being very I want to say like genuine, upfront, honest, truthful about who you were, and the other person wasn't, or the other people weren't, that's on them. Like, it doesn't, you need to remove all of the beliefs that you have about, that means I'm not worthy, that means that, you know, I suck, I'm stupid, whatever negative self-limiting beliefs that were created because of it, right? So that's what they want you to realize is keeping you stuck or down or in a cycle that you keep repeating because you haven't seen that, right? That you're somehow still negatively attached to these things that other people, that's their karma, that's their like lesson to be learned. It's not yours. Your lesson to be learned is, I didn't like that. I don't like this, and I'm not going to do it again, because I'm going to make sure I am conscious of the choices I'm making. I'm checking in with myself. I'm not ignoring any kind of feeling that's like, even if it's like a hesitation, it's a, I'm not sure. Unless it's a full body, yes. Unless it's a like, yeah, this is the thing that excites me the most right now in all of my given options. Unless it's that, you probably want to not do the other thing, right? That's being presented. So this energy is like very powerful. So that is all I got for you today. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know how it resonated for you. You can send me a message. Also follow me on Instagram at Bethany Empowers. I just saw 3333. And if you would like a reading with me, that information is below. Hopefully I'll be able to record another reading sometime later this week. But until then, I'm sending you guys so much love. Happy full moon. All right, bye.